From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
On the set.
50, Mike 50. I got you.
19, Tiger, 19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Complete to his target, Jalen Hyatt. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
On the double.
Strong right.
They'll run here with a rookie. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Giants at 7-4 on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here we go. Hey, watch edge.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Three down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Flush to his right. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw again. There's a short one caught by Johnson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And they can't bring him down. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
57's the mic.
Now the first carry here for their running back. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check 41.
We don't want this. SOS. We're going to kill. SOS.
Prescott on 3rd and 2. He tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Giants are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He has Hyatt over the middle. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
60 Eagle.
Coming, baby. I'm coming. Woo!
He'll look to throw.
Switch out.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Osa Odigizua with the effort there to earn the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide down with a good gain. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2, much more manageable. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up.
On the ready.
50, Mike's 50. I'm coming. Watch tight end. Tight right. Hey, 4 down.
He's got room at the 30, and he'll be taken down at the 26. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
18 Rattler.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Well, these two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, Week 7, and it was the Giants with a road victory, so they'll look for the sweep here. And that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark, and the Cowboys are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner, and with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Here we go, D. Check it. Come again. Go. Here I come again.
He's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Now Ryland for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So after the field goal, Ryland back out as he'll send this one away. And no return here for Sanders.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Prescott now on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up second down.
Here we go, 46.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Tight end right. 3 down.
Now Prescott.
3 down.
Flushed out right. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Check pass. 41 Mike. Go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he stopped immediately there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Eluding the pressure right. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. So on fourth down, Prescott off, and on is Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. And this one is right through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Here we go. 50. Mike 50.
Quarterback, don't get nervous.
They'll drop to throw.
Don't get nervous.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Giants! A great play there, with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And no return here for Sanders.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Why ain't it?
Prescott looks to throw on first. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead. And it'll come back. And Prescott, his third interception. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Yo.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd and 6. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll throw now on the final play. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed.
So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. Ryland on for the extra point. And it's wide right. No good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. I couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike. So don't say nothing.
Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material.
Make these babies crawl all the way back home. Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
Off the RPO, he completes it. Touchdown, Giants! A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants have opened the lead up to 30. Extra point by Ryland, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Back out is the kicker, Ryland, and he'll send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Watch tight end. Hey, we got 3 down.
On play action, Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
And what a letdown after a huge play. He's going to pull this in and then set sail for the end zone. And he nearly made it, too. But he's going to be tracked down just short of the goal line. So a big play there that's going to set him up with 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on 1st down.
Get ready.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And he pushed it. Pushed it from short distance, wide right. It's no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Mr. Davis, you're a football lifer, my friend. You've called games at the highest level. You know head coaches inside and out. Please explain that one to me. Speechless. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Kill, kill, kill.
We're going to 54. Wide in.
Prescott to throw it. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Let's go.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Bandit. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Throwing. Prescott.
3 down.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, got the safe completion on 3rd. And my goodness, another interception. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. It was Osa Odighizuwa on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 8.
18 Cardinal.
Army. Mike's 50. Watch the run.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Pushing his way through. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away.
Play to win. Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
There we go. Wide in.
Blue Dan. Tight end left. Out.
To throw is Prescott. And now here is another interception. And the Giants force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running left is Tracy. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
On the double.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Mike, 50, Mike. On the ball.
2nd and 9 now. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
Let's go.
And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Switch, switch, switch.
Tracy going to get it on first down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game. Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Come on.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. Here's Chad Ryland now on for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And he missed it. It's no good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Dave, baby. Mike's 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, let's get this.
2nd down, here's Tracy. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps, because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. 3rd down, here's Tracy. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes...
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
31's the mic.
A first down throw for Prescott. And now here is another interception. Well, they've got the huge lead.